This video goes with the second part of reading for chapter 15, and we're still talking about probabilities. So the first idea in this section is about drawing without replacement, which, for example, a deck of cards, if you're drawing cards and not putting them back, then that's drawing without replacement. And the important piece is that the probability will change. So if you're looking at the probability of drawing an ace, as you draw them, there's fewer and fewer cards. And so your probabilities are changing, which means without replacement, it's not independent. Okay. Now, what's I've put it in this red box is a really important idea that we'll kind of hit on in the next couple of chapters. We often sample without replacement. When we draw from a very large population, the change in the denominator is too small to worry about. But when there's a small population to draw from, in this case, we need to take note and adjust the probabilities. Okay, and we'll talk later on more specifically about what that means and kind of where our rule of thumb is when the population is too small compared to our sample. That'll all be for later discussions, but this idea about drawing without replacement isn't a big deal if your population is very large. Like if you had 1,000 cards that were all shuffled, it wouldn't really matter if you were drawing without replacement or not. But if you only deck of 52 cards, then it would make a difference. Okay, so diagramming this, this is an example from the book about having gold, and it'll change if you just had a gold. First of all, you have one less to choose from, and there's one less gold to pick. Okay, so the probabilities are changing, so they're not independent of each other. Okay, also the idea of drawing a diagram is really powerful and leads us into, in my opinion, the big idea in this section is about tree diagrams. Okay, tree diagrams are the last really powerful way that we can calculate and find probabilities. Okay, and it looks kind of like a tree. Kind of have a node or kind of a starting point, and it breaks off with different probabilities, and then you can branch off and keep going with these, and it's conditional probabilities from here on out. Okay, so here's an example where it's all filled out. So this is if they're a binge drinker, the chance that if given that they're a binge drinker, the chance they have an accident that's not related to that an accident is 0.17, none is 0.83. Okay, and to find the probability that they're a binge drinker and they get in an accident is you multiply 0.44 times 0.17, and that'll give you this probability. Okay, or if they're moderate and they don't, and there's none, then you again multiply it as you go, follow the lines, you multiply and get the probability that they're a moderate drinker and they've had no accidents. Okay, tree diagrams are really powerful, especially if you come to questions where it says, in this case, this is the probability, and in that case, it's that. If it gets complicated like that, drawing a tree diagram is a really powerful idea, okay? And that really wraps up a lot of our discussions about probabilities and how to find them.